Hey, thanks for tuning in to Twang and Bang. This is the Habilis SRT, which stands for Self-Reliance Tool. But I think the S and the R could just as easily stand for Seriously Redonkulous. This is huge. It is a bush tool that doesn't just look the part, but it also plays the part. And that's why the Habilis SRT is what's coming up next on Twang and Bang.
The Latin word habilis gave us several modern English words like have and ability. This makes Habilis a perfect name for a company that produces bush tools like the SRT. The SRT is made of 1095 carbon steel, which is my favorite steel for hard use blades. The gorgeous G10 handles are available in 3 different colors and are permanently pinned to the tang. The SRT is 11 3/4 inches long with a 7-inch extremely wide blade. The cutting edge is 5.5 inches long to accommodate a generous finger choil and hand guard. The blade is 3/16 inch thick, ground Scandi Vex style with a secondary bevel to provide extra edge support. The SRT is hardened to 56-57 Rockwell, and the finish is applied very thick, resulting in the wavy, crackled pattern that Habilis bush tools are known for. A Kydex cross-draw sheath is available, but I went for this beautiful multi-position leather sheath made by JRE Industries, which is available for no additional cost.
I could just as easily make this a review about this sheath. It's made by JRE Industries and it's a no-cost option with the Habilis SRT. I can't imagine why you would pick the Kydex cross-draw holster over this, because it is not only a beautiful piece of leather with 0 flaws whatsoever, it's built extremely well and it gives you many options for wear. It comes set up as a drop leg sheath, which I ran this paracord through this grommet so I can do that. It's got a grommet up here if you want to strap it some other way, or you can run your cord for your ferro rod through there. You can remove the drop leg loop and you can run it nice and high on your belt vertically. You could even run it on your belt horizontally. It's a little bit long for a cross draw wear, but the option is there. You can take this whole piece off if you don't even want to use it. You can pop the strap completely off if you want an open top sheath like a lot of people like to run, and it's got really good retention. With all that this is, the beauty of it, the durability of it, and the options that it gives you, I can't imagine picking the Kydex sheath over it. It is a fantastic option, and it's really great that Habilis is able to offer it with no additional cost.
This is a knife review nonetheless, and wood processing is what the SRT was designed to do. The balance point of the SRT is about 1 inch past the handle, giving each swing of the blade extra bite when chopping. Hardwood like this is tough on edges, but the SRT makes as deep a cut with the last strike as it did with the first. I experienced no rolled edges or nicks from any of the chopping I've done with this blade. The secondary bevel seems to be doing its job quite well. If you look at the lines of the SRT closely, you might notice that the tip is directly in line with where your wrist would be when you hold it, or where a staff would be if the SRT were lashed into making a spear. This makes the SRT a very efficient thruster for use when hunting, or even self-defense. Once you wrap your head around that, the overall shape of the blade reveals its very functional purpose.
In order to get the tip in line with the handle, that means that the back of the blade, the spine, is going to drop down. That makes batoning difficult in 2 ways. First of all, as you baton off the front of a drop point blade, you tend to have the baton skipping off. The other thing that can happen is it creates a wedging effect that levers the front down more so than can normally happen in batoning. Habilis puts this, what they call it, the anvil, on the back of the blade. It gives it its unique hump shape that no other blade has, and it's actually very effective. Check it out. It just grabs onto to the baton, and it directs all of the effort that I'm doing right straight down into the blade to allow me to easily split very hard wood. It's a really neat design feature that only Habilis has.
The SRT may be upsized to handle big wood processing tasks, but it has no problems doing the finer work of smaller blades. Point the SRT where you want it to go through a piece of wood, and that's the split it's going to make. Cutting kindling and even thin ribbons of wood off a core is an easy task for the semi-Scandi grind.
I really like this finger choil a lot. It gives you really good control. for a big knife, I don't have any problems getting really thin curls with this big knife at all. I've seen other reviewers say that they have issues with the ferro rod notch digging into their thumb, and of course I'm wearing gloves today because it's cool out here, but even without gloves, the way I hold it, I don't have an issue. I can see, however, if you were to put your thumb right there while you were working the blade, it is sharp on edges. I mean, that's part of the point of this notch here, but it's 1095 carbon steel. If there's anything that you really don't like, something that's too sharp, it is not a big deal to take some emery paper and knock off the edges so it's a little rounder. Take a little Dremel with some polishing compound, make something smooth. You're not going to hurt the whole knife by working just a very small area of it. That's one of the beauties of 1095 steel for tools, and that's what this is. This is a tool that has an edge, and it is a very versatile tool at that.
It's not every day you're going to try to get into a coconut, but Andy at Habilis thought this task would be a good demonstration of the SRT's tough tip and edge. I thought I'd take things a bit further by showing how great the tip is as a bore, making quick work of one of the coconut's eyes. The dog bone pommel is designed as a secondary anvil, protecting your hand from misstrikes when using a baton to drive the tip into your work. In this case, a few wraps is all the SRT needs to split the shell, giving access to the coconut's milk and flesh. That's not enough of a challenge though. I wanted to see what happens when I use the tip directly on the shell. And sure enough, the SRT proves itself to be tougher than the coconut once again. Last up, I'm going to chop the shell to see if it puts nicks into the edge. A few good chops later, the edge looks as good as the first time I pulled it out of the box. There are no nicks, the edge is straight, and the tip is perfect. This is a testament to the SRT's design and its use of properly heat-treated 1095 steel.
If you've ever wanted to say to somebody, that's not a knife, this is a knife, the Habilis SRT is a knife I would want to be holding, because you're going to win every time. It's a serious bush tool. It also has a serious bush tool price. It retails for $229, which is a little bit more than its younger brother, the Habilis bush tool, which if you wanted something that was smaller, something that was about that long and a little bit narrower, check that knife out as well. I'd say that this performed exactly like I was expecting. I think the coconut test was actually pretty cool. It didn't do anything to the blade whatsoever. But there's one criticism that I would share with other reviewers that I've seen, and that has to do with the belly of the grip. It's thick enough this way, but what I've found is the same thing that I've seen with other reviewers. The blade is nice and big, and you got this forward balance for good chopping, and that's partly why the handle is so thin, to keep weight off of the back of the SRT. The problem is it allows the blade to torque. You get a lot of torquing in your hand, and it's a little harder to control than I would like. I've seen reviewers take paracord and wrap the handle to beef it up, and I think that's something that I would do. The one change that I would make to the SRT would be to deepen the belly of the grip to give the hand a little bit more to hold on to and to resist the torquing from this nice big blade. If you want to learn more about the Habilis SRT, be sure to click the link in the video description below. I'm doing a whole lot of new stuff with my Facebook page. Be sure to check out fb.com/TWANGnBANG.net. That's spelled out D-O-T-N-E-T. I'm doing really short videos there. I'm posting deals and posting pictures of all the different things that I'm doing in between videos. If you like this video, please take the time to log into YouTube and click the like button. It really helps me out. Be sure to click right here to subscribe so you can catch my next videos on bows, guns, and other cool things like the Habilis SRT. I really appreciate you watching Twang and Bang, and I hope to see you next time.